Hello, air signs, and welcome to your Saturn retrograde tarot reading. Saturn retrograde will be from April 17th to September 6th. I'm going to explain a little bit about what Saturn retrograde is, but if you are not interested in that, you can go to the timestamp for your sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius below, and just go right to the reading. But for those of you who are interested in information about Saturn retrograde, I will tell you that I personally feel that this is more important than a Mercury retrograde. Saturn is back in its home sign of Capricorn, very powerful energy. In our history, when this alignment happens, there's big changes that take place in the world, typically for the better, okay? Also, I've read some stuff about, when Capricorn, when Saturn goes into Aquarius in 2020, that's like the coming of age of Aquarius. I don't know how much I subscribe to that, but there's some really interesting information about that. If you want to do a Google search, you will find it. I have left a link from the Astrology King in the description below that has a wealth of information about retrograde and all of that, Saturn. It's so awesome. I highly recommend you read it. I'll highlight the most important things here in the intro, but I recommend you read that. So Saturn is the planet of karma, okay? Saturn is our great teacher. He disciplines us. He grows us to our greatest potential. And so wherever Saturn is in your personal natal chart, that is very significant. That is the lessons that you are working on this life. That is where you will be challenged and grown the most. So I highly recommend you find out where Saturn sits in your natal chart. And since Saturn is a slower moving planet, actually, I take that back. Yes, you will have to know which house it sits in. You have to have your birth time to know that. Sorry. You can see what sign Saturn is in your natal chart without your birth time, but to know which house, you have to have your birth time. So I recommend that because, again, that's where you will be most challenged this lifetime. Also, if you have Saturn in retrograde in your natal chart, I personally do myself, it is said that it's retrograde because in your past life, you either did not learn that lesson or you kind of did some shady stuff, okay? And so it's retrograde in this lifetime to really teach you that lesson and balance the karma. I can definitely relate to that because Saturn is retrograde in my 11th house, and I will tell you what, I've had probably a lot of challenge with my friendships and just being social. Like, I have extreme social anxiety, a lot of challenges for me to overcome in that area of my life. So I get it and I understand it. And now when Saturn goes retrograde, it's all about a time of review of this energy that you've been working on, assessing it, how far you've come, what more you need to do. But also with that is it's time for reward. Okay, so think of it like Santa Claus. Have you been naughty or have you been nice? Because who you've been is what's coming back to you during Saturn retrograde. Okay, if you've been working hard and really trying to improve the challenges, the reward will be good. Like, think of the reward in this essence where you are in college and you are putting in the effort and time and energy to get your education. Somebody's teaching you, but you have to put in the effort or you will get nothing out of it. And all the effort that you put into it, at the end, you receive your degree. That is your reward. That is Saturn all day long, okay? If you don't put in your work, you don't get anything and you feel kind of empty-handed, right? So that's Saturn. And that's what we are dealing with in this retrograde, the review of, where that energy, where we've been working hard. And since Saturn and Capricorn are the 10th house, universally, everybody feels this energy in their 10th house. But where it is in your personal natal chart is your personal focus for this lifetime. So with that said, I'm going to start with Gemini. If you are a Libra or an Aquarius, go ahead and click the timestamp below. So Gemini, let's see which house, aside from your 10th house, Saturn is working on you. Also, if whatever card comes out here, which house, if your Saturn is in that in your personal natal chart, this will be a very, very strong reading for you. Okay, so let's see. We have the 7th house. So this is actually the house of Libra. This area of your life is all about long-term significant partners, romantic, business, or family. So Saturn's really been working on you guys in regards to relationships attached to the 10th house. That could have a lot to do with coworker relationships or business partner type of relationships as well. But no matter, relationships are highlighted for Gemini during this retrograde. That's a big part of the review that you will be doing, all the assessment. And, through the review, any area where you do feel like you've been stuck or not understanding, this retrograde, loosens up all those energies so that you can come into better clarity and understanding, so that when the retrograde is over, you are moving forward. So let's get more information about this 7th house, and then where you're headed after the retrograde is over. All right, so we have the Oracle, seek wisdom and guidance from the elders. Yeah, you've kind of really been challenged. And where we're headed is the satire, revelry and indulgence. So this, where we're headed, this is more of like a happy card. This is like celebration and indulgence and like lusty, lewd behavior, things like that. But where you're headed, to me, this just seems like the challenge, the intensity is over, and it's, after this Saturn retrograde, it's an easier, happier feeling for you guys in regards to relationships, whatever relationships this is for you, or if it is career. So let's pull some tarot cards to get some clarity and more information. Okay, with this right here being the first card out, this could be you or it could be the situation. Work, relationship, romance, friendships, whatever, apply it how it fits to you. This right here is the Page of Pentacles, which is Earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. What this says is I'm abandoning my cornucopia. I'm choosing not to fill it, because I don't want to settle down. I want to seek happiness and focus on like the material aspect of life. So this could be you, or this could be somebody who left you in this position, okay? That's part of this challenge, the energy that you're working on. And then we have the Hierophant on this side. So yeah, this is like, this is Taurus energy right here. So really strong earth energy. You guys could have been dealing with an earth sign. And this is just very strict, rigid dogma to follow. Like, this isn't really about taking accountability for self. It's about following rules. And perhaps like that is the energy that you are breaking free from. This is like being very traditional. This could be about like marriage. Like I'm very traditional and I believe in that. And like that's changing, or somebody was trying to push that on you. But we end here with the Two of Wands in this position. So this is like saying that, you are guaranteed success in, whatever you do. But these two paired up, this is really challenging. Like, I feel like many of you, this is more about career and like relationships in the workplace more so than romance. It's general, so it could be romance, but or even like in a religious setting, it's like breaking free of some very oppressive energy. Okay, and like you finally, because look at this page is looking away and he's holding the pentacle, and then in the Two of Wands he's looking away and he's holding the orb. So yeah, it's just, you've either been like really struggling with something in the workplace, a certain relationship, business partner, management, coworker, or you've been wanting like to start your own business, or this is something about, you know, a romantic relationship. Could be friendships, or even like in a spiritual setting where you're breaking free of it. Like you're like, I can't deal with this anymore. But, you know, apply it how it fits. So where are we headed? So we have the Temperance in this position, which is like where you come into the understanding you don't need to sacrifice yourself anymore for this relationship or whatever this is representing to you. You don't need to sacrifice yourself anymore. And then we have this Three of Wands here, which is, you see the transition from the 2, now you went to the 3, and look at what that third wand looks like. Okay, no, you definitely are achieving a lot during this Saturn retrograde, and you are going to have everything you need to move forward. Like this is like a new idea, or, you know, the missing piece finally comes to you, or the resources that you needed, like it all comes to you. But it's because you have come to decide and understand, like you're not sacrificing yourself anymore, like for anybody. You don't care. And look at this. You end it with the 9 of Cups, which is like a wish coming true. And look at, she's holding that cornucopia. So here, the Page of Pentacles abandons that cornucopia. But now, if you've been left behind, if somebody abandoning you, this is like you get a new wish, or this is like a new relationship. You know, whatever all this is for you, this is the other side of that, where you do get your cornucopia and it's filled with the wish that you truly desire. Now, I will say this, if you have been putting in your work and doing what you need to do, this is Saturn's reward. But if you haven't been, if you are the one that maybe abandoned somebody and left them behind, on the other side of that, you know, there's energy to be balanced. And if you did somebody wrong, it's like you're going to watch them get the dream that you wanted, okay? Something similar to that. But if you have been doing your work and you've been honest, then on the other side of this retrograde, you are definitely rewarded, and your cornucopia is filled where it's been empty, okay? So we have seduction, passion, and romance await. Yeah, this is, for some of you, all about a romance, maybe a romance that took place in the workplace. Over here, you will receive news from afar. Yeah, this is a confirmation. I really feel 100% that if you have been honest and true, and you've been really trying to do the right thing in regards to all your relationships, even though you haven't been understanding, during the review, it's like things are clarified for you, you know, this retrograde, and the reward is that you do finally get to move forward and you don't have to sacrifice anything, and your cornucopia is filled. And, you know, with this news from afar, that's positive news. But again, if you've not been honest, then this is like you realizing that, you know, whoever you took advantage of or lied to, totally abandoned, whatever, like you're going to find out about their good fortune. That's how Saturn rolls, okay? Because they did their work through the, you know, challenging energies that they had to face with you. So because this is general, I have to say that either way. And there are people that have commented that will tell me, yeah, you know what, you were calling me out. That's who I am, and I haven't been on the up and up, and this reading really made me see that, okay? So I'm not saying like all of you, because some of you have definitely put in your work and you are getting that reward. But it could go either way because it's general. So apply it how it fits. Be honest and true with yourself about it, because I'm telling you, Saturn don't care. Saturn does not care about excuses, about justifications. Nope. Saturn is like, no, this is what you got to do to get to where you want to be, and that's all I'm interested in. You know, go talk to Venus. If you want some love, go talk to Venus. All right, so... All right, so Neptune and Uranus wanted to come out over here. Your fantasies, yearnings, longings, and potential for illusion. And then over here in Uranus, your potential for sudden change, enlightenment, and awakening. So to me, it's like you've been kind of illusioned or not seeing things as they should. This Neptune is a very elusive, illusionary type of energy. But Uranus is like, here it is, let me show you the truth, okay? So that's powerful energy. There's, you know, during Saturn retrograde, there is a lot of relationships that do break up, but it's more of an empowerment. And I just feel like if you've been dealing with really like crappy people, you're just like, this retrograde, you come into the understanding and you're just out of there and you're like, I'm not sacrificing anymore. And because you make that choice, that is where that wish comes into play. Yeah, look at that. So we have Mars over on this side. Your physical energy, drive, strength, and fighting spirit. Yeah, you are rewarded for your refusal, you know, to sacrifice yourself anymore. That's just what I keep feeling like. You become very empowered on the other side of this retrograde. So let's pull one more card. Yeah, look at this. We have Capricorn energy over here. You've been worked really hard with this relationship energy, okay? Because we're talking about Saturn, and you know, Saturn rules Capricorn. So it's really intense for you guys, whatever this represents for you. And then look at, on the other side of this, we have Pisces. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces. So this is basically telling you that all of this hurt, heartache, and pain, and everything you've been going through over here, as you work through that, through this retrograde, you come in to this energy, the Piscean energy, which is unconditional love and forgiveness. It confuses and softens resolve, okay? So you are so empowered and healed on the other side of this retrograde, and you receive information that makes you happy, and it's like it allows you to finally indulge, you know, and let loose. So Gemini, that is your reading for Saturn retrograde. Again, I highly recommend reading the link that I've left in the description, as well as, you know, checking out your own personal chart and seeing where Saturn is there, and seeking out other resources and information about this retrograde, because to me it is more powerful than Mercury retrograde, and it just surprises me that more readers and astrologists, you know, aren't making a bigger deal out of it, but whatever. Anyways, that was that, Gemini. I'm wishing you all the best through this retrograde. Take care. Alrighty, hello Libra. So as Saturn is the 10th house universally and overall, let's see what other house is being highlighted for you guys in this retrograde, which means, you know, we're reviewing all the work we've been doing and seeing what's worked and what still needs a bit of tweaking. And if the house that comes out on this card is where Saturn actually sits in your personal natal chart. This reading should be pretty powerful for you. Okay. So for you guys, we have the third house. Man, this just keeps coming out for everybody. The third house, your potential to learn something and your local neighborhood. So this is, you know, our communication, our intellect. It's ruled by Gemini, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So that's the energy. So you have some sort of third house, 10th house correlation going on with this Saturn retrograde. So this really might be a complete reevaluation of what you think that you know, and you know, the way that you express yourself, especially in the workplace or your status in the world. But we are going to pull more cards to take a look. And will be what you've been working on, and then where you're headed after the retrograde is complete. All right, so we have the Mystic Circle. Your abilities will be enhanced. Some of you, right off the bat, this is definitely about developing your spiritual or psychic ability and gift. With the 3rd and 10th house, it's like you're trying to make a career out of it, you know, or create some sort of spiritually based practice. So some of you, you have really been working on that. Saturn has been growing you and, you know, priming you for that. Others of you, you know, just about whatever you are working towards professionally, or if you're trying to higher your education, like obtain a degree or certification, like this is so about career learning to me for you guys. So, oh, nice. This is where you're headed right here. The sun, your perseverance is rewarded. So to me, Libra, this is saying like the hard work that you've been putting in during this review, there's just a lot that you're going to come into understanding about, you know, the challenges that you've been facing in this area, and your refusal to give up, and you just keep pushing forward. You are rewarded, because Saturn, like I said, is like Santa Claus. Have you been naughty or nice? Because if you have been doing your work and diligently trying to improve and grow yourself, where Saturn is working on you, you are rewarded, okay? So let's pull some tarot to get some more information about that. Yeah, I just, this here, the Ace of Swords on this side, you see the eagle carrying the laurel there? This is like success. You guys, I mean, we have it twice here now, like you guys are definitely headed for success. The Libras that have been working on yourself, whatever this is for you, if you haven't really been focused and trying to do much of anything, then this reading might not resonate for you, okay? Because what I see here is somebody who's really trying to grow themselves spiritually, or like educational wise, or in career. All right, so with this energy, the Five of Swords, this is definitely about, you know, always wanting to win, always having to have the upper hand. This could have been like your energy, or this could be the energy that you've been experiencing as a challenge. But this is just like, you know, a battle of wills, and to win for the sake of winning, not because you're right or that your cause is just, but more for the ego, like I will conquer, I will prevail. And on this side of the card, it's like, okay, I've conquered, I've prevailed, but now I've lost everything that I had before I obtained this victory, and now I don't know what to do. So this could be like how somebody treated you, and, you know, now they're kind of in the place of, well, damn, Libra is walking away and not coming back. Or this may have been your energy, and now you are in that stance of, well, I did win, but it doesn't really matter now because, you know, I lost everything else. So apply that how it fits. Next, we have the Page of Swords. This is air energy, so this could definitely represent you, or Gemini, or Aquarius, or this is just talking about, you know, the energy that you've been dealing with from another, or the energy you've been embodying, projecting towards others. And this here, this particular page, you know, he really wants to do well, and he really wants to impress people, but because of his own insecurities within himself, you know, he doesn't believe that he can, or that he can cope with everything, and he's really afraid of those that he admires not approving of him. So he's kind of a defensive, prickly energy, but it's not out of a malicious intent. It's due more to insecurity within self. So again, this is either you or the person that you've been dealing with in the workplace, or, you know, just maybe even if you're really trying to learn something, you kind of feel like you're spinning your wheels. Well, like, I've learned this, but there's nothing coming. Like, I don't understand, okay? And now we have this Four of Cups. So some of you feel like whatever this is like a missed opportunity, like you missed the boat. But that's just an illusion, okay? You didn't miss the boat. This has been Saturn growing you and challenging you. So let's see what comes on the other side of this. All right, so on the other side of this, it's made you much stronger of a person, okay? Because now you really question everything inside and out. And with this, it's saying, you know, any challenge that comes my way, I'm ready for it now. And I vigilantly keep watch of my own back. And so you're just in a much more empowered place in this energy than over here, okay? And now we have the Eight of Cups this way, which is now we're assessing all that we've experienced and all that has happened, but we're coming at it from a much purer place than we were before, more from like soul-based rather than emotion based, and, you know, also the higher mind of understanding. And you see the shooting star there, it's like a brand new beginning. And then we have the Death card, but we have it this way, which is all about second chances, okay? This way, it's like game over, it's done. But this way, it's like we have a new understanding and we have a second chance at something. So whatever this represents for you and the setbacks and challenges that you've been facing as you go through this retrograde and really introspect about all of this, it totally leads you into this place. Because look at, you have the sun twice. There's a second chance at something, plus the shooting star, and then the orb in his hand. So it's like the sun times 3 plus the shooting star, you know, a brand new beginning, a second chance at something. So if you were told no, 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 it's like finally there's a yes. And as we were talking about second chances, this is the Two of Wands, and you see the two pillars back there on the Death card. It's second chance at something you really put a lot of effort and energy into. Many of you, again, I feel like this is about your career or some sort of spiritual expansion or your education. This is general, so it could be about relationships, but that's the strongest energy I'm feeling. So let's pull some more cards. All right. Oh, look at this. You got the stars. A long journey brings rewards. Oh, yes, 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 yes. So, Libra, oh, I love it. You got the stars. Like, this is the stars. Here's a shooting star. So that's the star times 2, and then the sun times 3. So, very blessed. This again is talking, this may have been very long. You've been dealing with this challenge, just trying to grow yourself somehow, some way, or maybe even like some relationship in your life. And it's just been this incredibly long journey. But because you never gave up and you continued to push forward and believe in yourself, even after you're like, man, I just feel like it's a complete missed opportunity. You know, you come into this retrograde, which is the review, and you understand things from a much different perspective, which pushes you into this energy and opens you up to a second chance. Like, so it's not whatever you've been working on. It's been a long time and you've been through the mill, but you will be rewarded. And look at that, strength and wisdom, the dragon. I see this more as your energy, okay? This is what you are transforming into. And in this position, you know, somebody would be foolish to try to pull this 5 of Swords energy on you again, okay? Because this is like, you will prevail. So those are pretty awesome cards, honestly. Like, I love where you guys are headed. So let me pull another card just to look at this energy on this side. We have a Mars. Yeah, so to me, this has been an intense journey, 100% with Mars energy there. Just grueling for some of you. And then over here, look at this, we have Saturn. I love when Saturn shows up on this side, because to me, that's Saturn saying, I'm going to reward you. The part of you that accepts challenges to gain wisdom. So you, like I said, this long journey brings rewards. This has been, you've been at this energy for quite some time, the challenge, working through it. And now, since Saturn comes out over on this side, to me, this is like Saturn saying, job well done. This is your reward over here. Okay, so let's just pull zodiac sign, and then we will be all finished, Libra. I love your reading. Okay, so we have Gemini. The energy is communicative, mischievous, lively, witty, and informative. Stimulating exchange is possible. So with this energy on this side, Gemini, with the Mars, it's like, this isn't about emotions, okay? Even if you're feeling them, this is really pulling you into your intellect big time, and choosing to start perceiving reality 100% from that place, from that higher mind. And this, again, it could mean like, also because we have this 5 of Swords, it's just like, you know, somebody you've been dealing with, maybe even a business partner or whatever. It's just like they're of two minds, back and forth, and, you know, that's been part of the challenge that's growing you. And then over here we have Aries. So Mars is Aries, it rules Aries, so strong Aryan energy, especially with 3 suns. The energy around you is dynamic and spontaneous, crusading, impulsive action is likely. Yeah, so this over here with Saturn is like a whole new breath of fresh air and energy. In, like I said, your perseverance is rewarded. And Aries with that dragon, it's like anybody who tries to harm you, you've elevated yourself and you just blow a little fire and they're toast, okay? So Libra, this is actually a really great reading. Those of you who have been putting in the work, you know, however that energy related to you personally. So again, I highly recommend that you read that link by Astrology King that I've left in the description below, and also look at your own natal chart and see where Saturn is trying to grow you, and seek out other information about Saturn retrograde. So I'm wishing you all the best, Libra. Take care. All right. Hello, Aquarius. I love you, Aquarius. I like Aquariuses a lot. You guys are such interesting people. See things from unique perspectives that most people would never even come into. So I love that about you guys. So Aquarius, let's take a look and see, you know, where Saturn is highlighting you besides that 10th house, because the 10th house, you know, is overall universally. If the card that I pull for the house here is actually where Saturn is in your natal chart, this will be a very significant reading for you. So let's take a look. We have the 9th house, broadening your horizons, either spiritually, academically, or on a long journey. So to me, this is all about higher learning. You have the 9th and 10th house highlighted here, and this could be that Saturn's been working on you in the area of your career and spirituality, and the two are intertwined somehow, or you are have really been trying to advance your career by advancing your education, okay? But this is like higher education or spiritual matters, honestly, with the 9th house. Also, if you've been feeling like your luck has been off, that could be indicative of this 9th house and Saturn working you in that area. So let's pull some cards to get more information. All right, on this side, we have the shield. You are safe from harm. So with this being what you're working on, I would feel that many of you may have been feeling quite challenged in regards to your spirituality or your faith, and feeling like the universe has your back, or, you know, that good things can come to you. So I'm really feeling like that's more what this is about, because with the shield, you are safe from harm. It's something about, you know, not feeling like secure in your place in the universe, or like the universe has your back, or that the people in your life have your back. Okay, so let's see where we transition from this energy after this retrograde. So we have this hindrance. Fate has blocked this path for you. So with this here, this being on the other side of this retrograde energy, this review, I really feel like this is saying to you, the thing that, you know, there's something you were working on or wanting, and it's like you were blocked. And I feel like that, in your perspective, caused great harm to you, and also set forth a series of events that played out in your life that you feel harmed you or were detrimental to you. But after this retrograde, after you go through all those energies and do that review, you realize that what you were blocked from was actually a reward, and you're happy that it did not work out the way it did, because I feel like you were just viewing something from a very physical 3D perspective, and Saturn was growing you so that you would start looking at it from a spiritual perspective. And now as Saturn goes retrograde and we do this review, you come into the understanding of why things worked out the way they did, and you're happier for it. Okay, it's like you're like, I get it, because you're understanding it from that higher spiritual level. So let's pull some tarot cards to get more information. So we have the Seven of Swords, we have the Nine of Pentacles, and then we have the Seven of Pentacles. So Aquarius, what this is telling me is, for many of you, this has to do with career or finance, or a relationship that you had, that there was like either shared resources, or you had really been putting yourself into a relationship or idea. And basically with this, the Seven of Pentacles is so perfectly paired with this. It's like you really put the work in, okay? And it's like somebody came and like stole it from you, stole your harvest from you. And this could be in so many different ways, okay? It could be like you felt like you deserved a promotion at work and it was given to somebody else who really didn't deserve it. You know, or you've been really working at trying to make a relationship work and the person just really wasn't interested ever and they like took advantage of you. It's just like whatever you've been working on did not pay off and it was very challenging for you, okay? And the reason why this all happened, again, is because Saturn is working on you to have you look through your spiritual eyes about this situation opposed to making it such a physical 3D human experience, okay? Because we have the Pentacles here. So by the end of this retrograde, you understand why this never came to pass, and you'll realize that it was truly protecting you, keeping you safe from harm, even though you kind of felt like you were being cheated, you know, through this journey. When we go into that review, it just all starts making sense, and you're like, okay, I'm happy now. I'm good that, you know, that did not work out. So let's pull some more cards here to see where we're headed after this retrograde is finished and you come into that understanding. Oh, I love that card. Okay, so on the other side of this, we have the Ten of Cups. And look at how beautiful that is. This is saying like you definitely start understanding all of this from a much, much higher perspective. And you are very happy. So whatever didn't work out for you, Aquarius, during this retrograde, you totally come into the understanding of why, and you are happy for it because there is a destiny much greater than what you were reaching for you, and you're coming into that understanding. So remember, Saturn goes direct in September, so and look at 9th house. September is the 9th month. It's something about September is special for Aquarius. And now here we have this Four of Wands in this position. With this, I feel you are excited and stuff, but you are much more reserved and you don't really want to express it outwardly, and I feel like it's because of whatever you've been through here. You're just much more reserved about the way you're going to express yourself outwardly. And then finally we have this Fool here, which is telling you that where you're headed is so much better than where you've been. Okay, and this to me is that Aquarius has done a hell of a ton of work and has accomplished it. Okay, it's not like you're just playing the victim and all of that. No, it's through this review you are very real with yourself, very honest with yourself, and because of that you come into this understanding. And again, where you're headed is so much better than where you've been, and you see that shooting star there. So that's great energy, Aquarius. Let's pull some more cards. I moved the camera, didn't I? There we go. All right, so we have the Unicorn, good fortune, and friendship. Yeah, many of you, this is work, career, money. Some of you, this is friendships. Some of you, this is relationships, a romance. Or for some of you, it's a combination of all three. Okay? You heavy Saturn's been working you hard. On the other side is imagination, cloud your judgment. So this to me, since, you know, this is the other side, this is saying there is no more confusion, okay? You see things clearly, and you are much wiser about the connections that you make and the people that you are willing to let into your life personally. It's just you're really revamping all of that energy, because it's all about your destiny, okay? And you're just not, after this retrograde, you're not interested in dealing with this energy anymore, because you've overcome it. You've learned from it. It's grown you. And you're coming at things from a much more spiritual perspective. And you're not going to let anybody confuse your mind again, okay? So let's pull a planet card for this side. Venus, the part of you that desires beauty, success, indulgence, and valuables. So Venus rules Taurus and Libra. Taurus is all about, you know, your assets, your finances, the second house. And Libra is all about relationships, the seventh house. So that pairs so perfectly with this energy. So, you know, resources, finances, or, you know, matters of the heart, relationships. And on this side, look at this. We have Pluto, your ability to transform, take a big leap forward, and rebirth. Yep. All of this, Aquarius, you've done your work. You are being rewarded. And whatever this is for you, it's transformed on the other side of this retrograde. Okay? And look at, you have Capricorn over here, and you know, this is the ruler of Saturn, or yeah, the governor of the Saturn energy, however you want to look at it. So, yes, Saturn has been working you hard, Aquarius, hard, pushing you to every single boundary you have within, where you're like, oh, I can't go any further. And then, you know, Saturn's like, no, here's this Capricorn energy. Yes, you can. And you do. Nice. And oh, look at this, Libra. I think, Aquarius, this is letting you know that your friendships, your romantic ships, all of that is much better on the other side of this retrograde, because you've done your work and you've balanced yourself. Your karma is evened out, and where you are headed, like I said, is so much better than where you have been. I love your reading. It is awesome. So again, I recommend you read that Astrology King link that I've put in the description, so you really understand this retrograde and what it can do for you. Also seek out other information about it. So that's what I have for you, Libra. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.